I have a lot of wool, but I got myself in this situation. I'm gonna get myself out of it. I have a lot of full balls of wool. When I say wool, I mean yarn. I just grew up calling it wool, not like wool the material, wool the concept. Like, this is all acrylic. I have maybe 2 cotton ones. I could definitely not afford a whole tray of cotton and wool yarn. Okay, so I have a lot of these, like half balls, quarter balls, like tiny amounts, loads of them, and I want to do something with them. There's quite a few things which I would like. I've just redone my room. Hope you guys, I love it. I think it's cute and pink's my favorite color. My bookshelf there. And one thing I need is a coaster, because I drink a lot of tea, but I don't have a coaster. So I actually have stolen one that I originally made for my dad. I would also like a little pouch to put my lipstick in, because I keep losing it. It's this e.l.f. lipstick. It's amazing, glorious, perfect. But I put it in whatever bag I'm using, and then I forget which bag I was using last. So if I have a pouch, you know, made to size of this lipstick, then I'm hoping I won't lose it anymore. Yeah, something flower related. I want to make something flower related, because it is spring. It's spring. The sun's shining, it's beautiful, and I want to make something to honor that. Okay, first thing I'm going to make is probably the coaster, because I need that ASAP, because my table just needs it, otherwise it will get destroyed. Okay, so I'm about to start with the coasters. My cat is sleeping on my bed, and I've decided to go with the green, the dark green, and then 2 different shades of purple. And I want to make, yep, ignore that cat hair please. I want to make like a circle, and then make some flowers to attach on the top and like on the side. I have a vision. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I'm going to get started. I'm going to be using a 4.5mm hook, because this is quite a nice in-between hook. The stitches don't come out as loose as on a 5mm or as tight on a 4mm, so it's nice in between. And yeah, I'm going to get started. Oh. So here I am, we're 2 minutes in, I finally start crocheting. I'm crocheting the base for the coaster. I'm just doing like a circle. I was winging it, to be honest. I'll write down in the I'll write down in the description the steps that I used, so you can try and make this at home. I'm sorry, I don't write patterns, so I hope it will be clear. You know, if you have questions, I can respond to them in the comments. Okay, so I made the base for the coaster. Here it is. I was thinking I could turn it into a lily pad and add like a little V there, but I actually just can't be bothered. So I'm not gonna do that, but that's like an idea that I had. I'm gonna make the flower now. I want to put just a couple, like one there and one there, just to add some detail. Okay, so to make the flower, I'm going to chain 1 and then chain 1 again. So I'm going to chain 2. I've never made like a crochet tutorial before, can you tell? Okay, so I'm going to half double crochet, and then I'm going to do a double crochet into that same stitch. And then once you've done that, half double crochet into that stitch again, and then chain 1 and slip stitch back into there, and then you have one tiny little petal. An alternative to doing chain 2 and then doing all your stitches into the same stitch is to use a magic circle, but I have experience with those breaking, and then my granny squares like falling to pieces, and like the amount of time I've spent on something for that to happen. Like, I made a beautiful bag and it just destroyed the bag. So I will not be doing that again. If I can figure out how to do a stronger magic circle, I might, but for something small like this, it's honestly not even difficult to do it this way. So I'm gonna do that exact same thing I mentioned before 2 more times to make 3 petals, and then I'm gonna make another flower, and those will be my 2 dark purple flowers. Here Here are the two dark purple ones. I'm about to make the bigger flower. I'm gonna do basically the same exact thing, but I'm going to chain 3 at the start, and I'm gonna be doing double crochet, triple crochet, double crochet for each petal, and I'm gonna be making 6 petals instead of 3. So that's the only thing that'll be different. And then I'm gonna attach them to the lily pad, I don't know what you call it, and then I'll be done. So once I had crocheted all the flowers, it was time to weave in all of the ends and sew the smaller purple flower onto the bigger like lilac flower. And I love this time lapse because it actually looks like I know what I'm doing. Like, it looks so professional and I just love it. Like, look, I'm sewing that shit. Well, whoops. Okay, I'm not meant to swear on here. Anyway, so I'm attaching the flower onto the coaster base, sewing in the ends, cutting off the ends once they're nice and hidden away, and then I'm attaching the other flower next to it, kind of diagonally, and I think it looks so cute. It is a bit of an awkward shape, so I can't fit large cups because the flower adds a texture, but I can fit like smaller glasses. And then I like this one so much that I made another one with alternating flower colours. So here is my pair of coasters. I did something different in between making these two. I don't know what, because I used the exact same wool. I'm pretty sure I used the exact same number of stitches. But yeah, here's my 2 coasters. I think they're really cute. I really actually do like this colour combination. And I think the next thing that I'm gonna make is a teapot coaster sort of thing. So like a bigger version of one of these. But yeah, that's my coasters done. My vision for this teapot coaster, I'm putting that in quotation marks because it is just basically a normal coaster, was a square made out of all of the 3 colours that I used before, but using like random stitches, so single crochet, half double crochet, just alternating between a bunch to get texture and different colours. And yeah, I just wanted to make a square with a border around it that would fit my teapot but would also fit other cups. Here is the finished square coaster. I love it. Okay, I really do also like the flower one that I made. I'm currently putting my flowers on there, but because the flower was raised, there wasn't enough room for a normal cup, so I'm gonna get a cup now. So this just has some lemon and ginger tea. Look at that, fits perfectly on there. Yeah, I really do like the other one. Like, in terms of aesthetics, this one is really cute, but it's not, with a big cup, it's not that functional. This one's alright because it's small, but I have some big like teacups and they do not fit on there. And the fact I have 2 of them in different styles but on the same colour, it's like jazzing up my nightstand. I really like it. So the coasters are finished and this is the current wall situation. I actually like don't know what to make. I could make the lipstick holder that I was talking about at the beginning of the video. And if I was to do that, I would probably use, I did just use both of those shades of purple before. It's a purple lipstick. Well, it's kind of purple. It's an elf. You'll see. I might use these 2 maybe. That's kind of like Monster High vibes. I might go with this colour combo. Just for reference, this is the lipstick that I'm talking about, if it will focus. Yeah, so it's elf. I don't even know. I think it's called Black Cherry. I might be wrong, but I think I will do like a tiny little circle and then maybe do like a slip stitch in the front loop only and then single crochet up the whole tube. I'll see how it goes. Alright, here we are again. New outfit, new necklace. Thrifted that necklace from a charity shop, and I am crocheting the body of the lipstick bag. So I'm basically doing what I said in the clip before. I'll put the steps on screen and in the description. This honestly was the most genius thing I've ever thought to crochet. I'm not saying I came up with the idea, but I'm very proud of myself for coming up with the pattern. and it fit my thing perfectly. It fit my lipstick. It fit my lipstick perfectly. Okay, so I've just finished making the handle for this tiny little bag. Pull through my yarn. Okay, so this is what I had. I made the body, and then to make the handle, I really stopped counting my stitches because I was watching you, or I was rewatching you, and I just kind of turned my brain off. But I stopped when it felt about even, or like it felt right. And see, it just slides in like that, and then here is the little handle. And I kind of want to put this on a bag, but I want to make it into like a whole keychain. So I'm gonna maybe do in this color. I decided in the same purples as the coasters, just to stick to a color theme. I'm gonna maybe do like some bows or like stars as details. But yeah, to make the handle, I just chained 12, I think, and then I slip stitched onto this side here, and then I slip stitched into the next stitch, and then I just turned over and I started working single crochets all over the chain until I reached the end where I slip stitched back into the body of the bag, and then I yarned over and pulled through. So it was pretty easy to make, to be honest. Now I'm going to decorate it, and I also have here, I've got either these kinds of key rings or these kinds of key rings, so I'm going to decide which one I want to use. And I might also get out some beads just to add a bit more decoration, but I'm going to decorate that now, and I will see you in a second. Alright, so after sewing on the keyring, tying up the bow, I started crocheting. I used the same pattern for the bulky flowers that I used for the coasters, and I made one, and then I chained like maybe, I think it was 30 something after finishing one, and then I made another one so that I can have them attached on the same string and kind of make a slip knot onto the keyring of having them dangling down. You'll see the vision in a sec. Okay, I have made maybe, just maybe, the cutest bag charm ever. Like, okay, I don't know where all of my creative juice like came from when I was making this, but I'm so proud of this. Like, it fits perfectly my lipstick, and I made a little bow. I actually don't know how to make good bows because they always turn out to be lopsided and terrible, but I'll look into that later. And then also these flowers, like, this is so freaking cute. The only problem I have, the only problem I have is I have made crochet keychains in the past, and for like maybe a couple of months this will hold on, but it always ends up like slipping through the tiny gap in the chain. Can you see it? This gap. Oh my god, okay, hold on. Okay, you can't see the gap I'm talking about, but it's like this connector bit there. It always like slips through there. So I'm gonna try and needle felt, black felt over this in an attempt to make it extra secure. I don't know how to needle felt. This is just a trial and error to try and, you know, make this more secure, because if this falls off, I lose my favorite lipstick and the cutest keyring I've ever made, and I don't want either of those things to happen. So I'm gonna try and do that, and I'll report back. I'll see if it works. So I got this pack of natural colors. I don't even have black. Dark brown. I have 3 different shades of brown and no black. So I have dark grey or this cream color. Dark grey or cream. I don't know. because that was like the most stressful part of the process, I did not record any of the needle felting, but I figured out if I take pieces of scrap, like black yarn, just this acrylic here, pull the strands apart and just rip them up a bit, I can pretend they're felt, like they're loose needle felt. I hope you get my point. But I just needle felted, like, you know, ripped up black yarn onto here, and like you can't really tell, to be honest. Like, I'm quite pleased with that. So this is it on my bag. And another great detail is because I sewed it in the smaller dark purple flowers on in kind of a circle, when the wrong side is showing, it doesn't even look that bad. Like, do you see what I mean? Like the circle on the back. But yeah, this is how it looks on a bag. No lipstick in there at the moment, but she will be in there in a second. Yeah, probably my favorite thing that I made in this video. If you did watch the whole way through, you know, thank you so much for watching. I hope this inspired you to just try and make something out of your scrap yarn. And yeah, if you want to follow what I did, the patterns will be in the description. If there's any steps that you want a bit more clarification on, just comment and I'll respond, clearing up any confusion. But thank you so much for watching.